needed, much needed, because it's dealing with single parents. And I'm going to say possibly in 11 years, Teahl Bader will be back telling us about what God has done as he showed off with single parent organization here in the Des Moines area. Teahl Bader is our guest this morning. She's the executive director for Single Parent Provision. Good morning, Teahl, and welcome to Update Today.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you're going to have a big event September the 12th. Tell us about that. What will that be?
We are. It's called Break Time, and it's just what it says. It's a time for single parents to have a break. That is just a needed thing for single parents, is just to get that break. And so we're affording them the opportunity to do so. It's a time when single parents can bring their kids from 5 to 9 p.m., and we will just love on their kids for 4 hours and have all kinds of fun activities and things planned for them where they can have 4 hours to themselves to go run errand, read a book, sit in silence,
But I may
study.
not want to leave my child. I may want to know, what's this all about? You know, as a single parent, the responsibility that falls on one's shoulders. I don't have any idea who you are or what this is all about. So could I possibly even stay? I need the break, but I need to stay more. Would that be a possibility?
Absolutely. I mean, we want to build the trust of single parents, and if the way to do that is for them to stay that first time, then we would welcome that. We hope that they will take advantage of that break. We know that all the volunteers that we have are all background checked. They all come from different churches throughout the community, and just the volunteers aren't being drugged there to take care of these kids. These volunteers are enthusiastic and can't wait to just love on these kids, and we want it to be a break for the single parents, but we also really just want to create a wonderful environment for the kids, because we know over time, as we offer more of these, if this is something that the kids are lukewarm about, then over time the parents aren't going to bring them, and they're not going to take advantage of getting that break for themselves. So we want them to take advantage of it. We're trying to just make it kind of over-the-top fun for the kids and have this first one. We have a magician coming. There's a playland. There's a gymnasium. The meal is provided free for the kids. It's all free of charge. We just really want to make it over the top for the kids.
And the parents will think they've died and gone to heaven, because until you become a single parent, you have no idea the pressure that single parents carry with them. Where is this event going to be held?
It's going to be held at Valley Community Center, which is near the Jordan Creek area, across or near Valley Stadium.
Now, Valley Community Center, I think that's located at 4444 East Fuller Road in West Des Moines. Now, I think that's connected with Valley Church, isn't it?
Valley Church owns the community center, yes, but I think it's really been the heart of Valley Church, and I'm speaking for them, but I hope that's okay to do so. But they created that community center to be for the community.
Isn't that wonderful? For the glory of the Lord, that's
yes,
for certain. What age group are you targeting?
Really, we're leaving that up to the parents' discretion. If they, have, I would say the bulk of the kids that we're going to have will be as young as 2. Some may be as old as 12 or 13. But once the kids are there, they'll be broken up into age-appropriate groups. So it's not as if we're going to have 2-year-olds and 12-year-olds. Trying to do the same activity. That just wouldn't work. So they'll be broken up into 3 different age groups, doing age-appropriate activities. And we'll have different kind of stations for the kids. So, there'll be an arts and crafts station. Then there's a beautiful gymnasium that they have there at the community center, and we'll take them in there and do different games and activities. There's like an indoor playland area where they'll have the magician will be kind of a station in itself. And then we'll all come together during the meal when we serve.
Now, how is all this financed?
Through donations is the majority of it, and it's really God bringing together the right people. We've just seen so many people enthusiastic about wanting to be involved in this, and as you just mentioned when we got on, the need for this, and I think others are like-minded in that and just recognize the need for this and feel, as you just shared, that this is overdue. So they're jumping on board to really
yes,
to be a part of this. But really, the volunteers are what is allowing us to be able to do these things. And the volunteers, as I mentioned, they are just so enthusiastic about doing this. So.
Now, Teahl, let's go back. Give some of your own personal background as well as your professional background. The fact of your professional background, God's been preparing you for years, hasn't He?
He really.
But where did this all begin?
Yeah. I guess
you yourself are a single parent.
I am a single parent. I am. I have a beautiful 6-year-old daughter, and God blessed me by allowing me to be a mother, and He created her and has big things in store for her life. But He also used her life to get a hold of mine. I was a believer from a young age, but at that time when I was younger, I knew Jesus as Savior. And it wasn't until I found out I was expecting my daughter that I came to know Him as Lord and really put Him in that number one position in my life. And that's what it was from then on when everything, as you said, I feel as though He's really prepared me. And possibly, even before then, I am the youngest of 4 siblings myself, and my own mother died when I was just an infant. And so I was raised by a single father. And he raised all 4 of us kids on his own.
And by the way, is this meeting for men as well as women on the 12th of September?
Yes, it's for single moms and single dads can bring their kids. It's for both.
Oh, but God put you in Arizona in a church that had a ministry already for single parents.
Yes. Shortly after my daughter was born, we had moved to Arizona. I had a good job opportunity there and have family who lived there, and just thought that made a lot of sense. Really did feel led to going there. Moved to Arizona and was a part of just a remarkable church that really knows how to go after people's hearts, and they went after mine, and I was thankful that they did. But they offered a single moms ministry there at the church. And I went to that ministry, and I'll say I went there the first night reluctant. I had such a sour attitude, thinking we were going to be sitting around and this was just going to be kind of a big pity party. I thought I don't need that. That seemed like it would suck the energy from me as opposed to help build me up. But I thought let's go down this journey and we'll try. And I went there, and I was so thankful to be so wrong. These women were amazing. They were trying to live lives for the Lord and doing so regardless of their circumstances. I mean, somebody could have walked in that room and may not have even realized that this was a group of single moms. I mean, it was clear that their focus was seeking the Lord, and it was, eye-opening to me, and felt it instantly gave me hope that even though at the time my life felt derailed, walking in there and being a part of that group and those women and that wonderful leader really showed me that my life is going to be different than I would have thought that it would have been, but it's still going to be great. And it's going to be great because I'm seeking after the right things, and that was God.
And as a result, now in Des Moines, of course, you have been involved with the YMCA for years, so you're going to be bringing some of those ideas of creativity into this group. So September 12th is your first of several meetings, and there's quite a variety that you have planned.
Yes, this is the September 12th is the first break time that we're offering, but we have others scheduled in different months. Our hope is to offer one each month, and really over time to build to different locations throughout the city. So we can, right now, this one's being offered on the west side, although anybody is welcome to come. But we know that distance may play a factor, so to offer some of these in different locations throughout the city will be beneficial to try to reach more people. So we plan to do that. And then even beyond these break time events, we have other programs that we're excited to start offering. We're kind of rolling them out in stages, if you will. But we just have many other programs and ways that we're trying to be realistic with what the needs are of single-parent families and trying to meet some of those needs. This break time event obviously meets an immediate need that single parents have, which is a break and is time. We can't. So often I've heard the group in Arizona when I was a part of that. I started as just an attendee, but then the next year I became part of the leadership team there, and that just really blossomed. And then here locally, even prior to starting the nonprofit Single Parent Provision, I've led a single moms ministry we're starting up our 4th year, and over that time, you hear some repeated themes and you hear the repeated needs that single parents have. And so we tried to have our eyes wide open of what are the needs. And we want single parents to know that they're in the forefront of our minds. They in thinking through their circumstances and the needs that they have is what's leading to the different programs that we are going to be offering.
Now, the curriculum for the evening of September the 12th is going to be a fun night, but it's all going to be Christ-centered, isn't it? And then, of course, possibly will you break up in time if there is an interest for even Bible studies for women? You're going to just sort of throw the doors open to try to see and meet each one of them where they are?
Well, our efforts on the 12th are going to be towards the kids and the kids' activities. This is intended for the parents to leave and to go take a break for themselves. Like I said before, they're welcome to stay, certainly if they'd like to, just to kind of get a feel for.
The first time, I would think, since I didn't know anyone,
sure,
and I'm reluctant to just release my children to strangers.
Sure,
I think for that first time, I would feel more comfortable to sit back and be an observer, and then
sure,
if I decide I need to run down to Starbucks or someplace, I could slip away later on.
Sure.
Because it is going to be from 5 to 9, right?
Sure. Yep, and they're welcome to do that. But our efforts that night are going to be on the kids and in the kids' activities and really just loving on the kids. But to your point of just even the Bible studies and things like that, we've got when I mentioned the other programs that we have, there are other programs that will focus on that type of thing. You hear single parent provision, we are focusing on the single parents, but also the single parent family, them as a unit. So all the things that we're doing, some things may be for the kids of single parent families, some things may be for specifically for single moms, some may be specifically for single fathers, but we have just different programs. One of them we'll be starting after the first of the year, and probably about March or so. We'll be holding different workshops that are for single parents, and the workshops are intended to be about a 1.5 to 2 hour kind of a one-time thing. Any of the programs or classes that we offer that are for the parents, we will always have childcare available, because that is the number one, that's the next question that will come out of single parents' mouths of, oh, this sounds like a great class. Do you have childcare? And sometimes that can be a barrier. So we want to remove that barrier. We'll always have childcare provided, but we'll do different workshops on topics that are relevant to single parents. Some of them might be kind of a home maintenance 101.
Oh, yes.
Shopping on a budget, organization 101, just kind of things that we could have a better knowledge of, not an ongoing thing, but just a kind of a one-time type workshop. And then next fall, we plan to offer different classes. And these classes will be, again, towards the needs of single parents. So it may be classes on parenting. It may be, and I'll say, we may have classes on dating, because that's important. And we've got to realize, as a single parent, there might be those temptations or interests to date, but we need to have a good foundation and understanding of what that looks like through God's eyes. And so we want to tackle that. And even though it may be kind of a touchy subject, some may be interested in thinking that might be the farthest thing from many single parents' minds. But at some point, that the thought of dating or the interest in doing so may be there. And so we want to arm them with, what would that look like, dating as a single parent through the lens of God?
I think you're very wise, because I know of a personal situation. We were at a meeting not too long ago, and this girl had just received her ring. She'd been single for some time. She has this 13-year-old daughter, and the daughter can't stand this man. She just abhors this man. And the mother, the bride-to-be, said, I have my own life, and that's her problem. And I looked at her, and I didn't say anything, but I thought, oh, honey, you're just walking into trouble. When you have a 13-year-old daughter that has that strong a feeling, you only have a couple more years to stay single before you have her settled, and then you can go on with your life. Am I wrong?
I would say no. I don't think that you're wrong. But I also think we've got to the story you just said, we can't close our eyes to part of our circumstances in our lives. We really have to be looking at our lives with our eyes wide open and taking into account all those factors. So that in that case, that there may be the desire to date and whatnot, but having a 13-year-old or any age child, that's just different. And growing up, we may or may not have gotten information or learned what God might say about dating and whatnot, but to do that as a single parent, that presents a unique set of circumstances.
Teahl Bader is our guest this morning. She's the Executive Director for Single Parent Provision. They're going to be having a meeting at Valley Community Center September the 12th from 5 to 9. And the Valley Community Center is in West Des Moines, 4444 East Fuller Road. Why don't we give out a phone number or a website that they can find further information, by the way?
Sure. The best resource would probably be to go online, and it's just singleparentprovision.org. There you can get a great overview of all the different programs that we're going to be offering. You can learn more about break time, see pictures, directions, that kind of thing. Also learn more about just where our heart is. We really want to walk alongside single-parent families, and the website just gives a good resource to do so. Also, you can give us a call. The phone number is 515-868-9252. That's 515-868-9252.
See, folks, I didn't even have to ask her to repeat the phone number. I always ask to repeat the phone number. In fact, since I didn't, I will ask you. Why don't you repeat the phone number again?
Yep, it's 515-868-9252.
Teahl, the fact that your father, after he lost his wife to death, your mother, and had 4 children, he raised them as a single father. He must be very proud of you because you've picked up the baton and you're following in his footsteps, helping others that are walking that lone. Don't they, as a single parent, don't you sometimes, you usually always feel overwhelmed, but don't you sometimes feel alone and isolated? Like, am I the only one out here that's struggling with the budget or problems with my teenage child or trying to find a job or having some time for myself?
You absolutely hit the nail on the head. When I talked about before hearing themes that I would hear, meeting with different single moms, that is the number one glaring thing is feeling like you're in this fight alone. And this is my heart, and now the heart of this organization is single parents need to realize that they're not doing this alone, that God, if they will allow him to be leader of their household, he is with them and wants to guide them and wants them to have abundantly blessed lives. But we've got to turn our focus to him and try to tune out these other distractions. The world's trying to get our attention towards these other things, and we've got to fight hard to stay focused on him. So really just that feeling of being alone. They so often, and myself included, I've been there feeling like, this is a one-man show, and how can I handle all this, and how can I do all of this? And I've got to remind myself that I don't have to do all of this. I know the leader of the group in Arizona, she always used to say that God's favorite phrases were, I can't and I quit. Because as soon as we can't and we say we quit, we allow him to come in. And it's just that recognition of surrender of, I can't do this, God, but you can. So you go before me and let me partner with you and you work it out. But our job is just to stay focused on him. And there's a verse that I would want to share, Isaiah 35:3. It says, strengthen the feeble hands, steady the knees that give way. And that's really what we're trying to do as an organization, is just come alongside single-parent families and realize, some of them may not know the Lord, and that's okay. But I want them to know that they have.
This is non-denominational.
It is, yep.
This isn't about church or a religion. It's because of a relationship.
It is. It's about a relationship, and especially for those who don't know Christ. We hope that we can gain their trust and continue to point them and share our faith with them, that the reason we're even existing and the reason we're even doing what we're doing is because of his love. But we want to be able to, just what the verse says, strengthen the feeble hands, steady the knees that give way.
And where is that found in Isaiah?
Isaiah 35:3.
There you go, folks.
And
that's for all of us today,
yes.
wherever we are. Give us again the details on September the 12th.
September 12th, break time, a time for single parents to get a break, take some time for themselves, invest in themselves so they can be better equipped to when they do come pick up their kids, to be able to pour out to their kids once again. But the event is geared towards kids. We will watch the kids and have all kinds of fun and provide meal free of charge. Everything's free of charge, and we'll be able to just love on the kids to give the single parents a break. It's going to be at Valley Community Center, which is 4444 East Fuller Road. From 5 to 9 p.m.
And that's in West Des Moines. And by the way, as you were speaking, I couldn't help but think maybe some of you older single parents that have raised your children, the door is wide open for a mission field for you. The fields are white unto harvest, and the workers are few. You can always use more help as well as finances, because these meals and the balloons and all the things that are there have a cost involved. How can we be a part? That website again, that we can sign up and be a financial support to you to make this happen.
Mm-hmm. The website, singleparentprovision.org. And yes, we're humbly grateful for any contribution, whether that's financial, whether that's your time. Mostly, we would just love your heart to be involved. If this is something that strikes a chord with you, we'd just love you to be a part of it.
In fact, you prayer warriors out there, I know you're there because I feel you all the time. It's SPP, Single Parent Provision. Put that on your prayer list. And Teahl Bader's name is Tehl, Tehl, but it's like the color teal, Tehl, and the last name is Bader, B like in boy, Ader. Please put her on your prayer list. She's the executive director. This is their first event. The kickoff Friday night, September the 12th, from 5 to 9 at Valley Community Center. Pray, be in prayer about that. Be in prayer for the little angels or the little munchkins that are going to be there that night. You said from 2 and age 2
to 12.
No babies.
If that's not our target audience, we would say that. I wouldn't expect there to be that interest, but if there was, we would welcome the phone call to try to accommodate
or
them.
If you have a toddler and you have a baby, and mom, you want to come and then stay, take care of your own baby, and then the toddler can play with the rest of the kids. That would be fine. The best thing to do is call Teahl and find out any questions. That number once again,
515-868-9252.
That's your update today. Teahl Bader has been our guest. SPP, Single Parent Provision. That's your update, folks. Let's go out today and live this day for the Lord. Well, we still can, shall we?
You've been listening to Update Today on Praise 940 KPSC. Update Today is heard Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. with an encore presentation at 5 p.m. on Praise 940 KPSC.